Yes, I have. Look, I just actually set off Boingo. I just kind of like just talking about whatever. And just like, and then Boingo's like, we gotta talk about this, you know?
Yeah. Look, sometimes stupid people need to know they're stupid.
Yeah, and I just vent about stupid people just to get it off my chest.
Yeah. Speaking of stupid people, welcome to Modular Components, everybody. This is a show that exclusively features stupid people, and that's why we made it to 100 episodes of this show. Oh my god!
That's why you invited me, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, first we have to introduce our usual range of chuckle fucks. Hi everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I'm responsible for all this. Another person responsible for all this is Boingo Rider.
Hello, I'm a fuckle chuck.
Yeah, you sure are. And Knuckle Duckle, we roped into all this, is Buster Corp.
I just ate 2 bags of flaming hot Doritos. I also drank a bunch of water, so I think my voice is fine.
Damn, that's what's wrong with this generation. It's hot chip and podcast.
Oh my god, fucking kids, am I right?
That's a shame.
We do to commemorate this this very special occasion of us hitting 100 episodes of this somehow. We have a very special guest, and this totally didn't just happen by accident. Of we finally got them to agree to come on the show. Hatchetko is here. Introduce yourself, everybody.
Whoa. Hi, I'm Hatchetko. I'm some guy on the internet that does webcomics and art and stuff.
You also happen to be like the inspiration for Boingo's current everything and the V-Pals as a force on the internet.
Maybe a little bit. I don't like taking credit, but perhaps a little bit.
I mean, hey.
It all started when I called one of my friend's wife really hot, even though I've never seen her, and the rest is history. And now we're all buddies. Yes, I also do streaming and VTubing and such on the side. That is true.
You do a little bit of everything, as most of the people we have on this show do, because you gotta be doing everything to keep your head above water in this current media landscape.
Oh God, absolutely. Yeah.
But I am excited because it's taken us a little bit to get you on the show. You actually won a guest spot on the show on the very first Boingo Bash. And ever since then, it's
like it's not like we don't give these out like potato chips.
Oh yeah, but every couple months I've gone like, hey Hatch, you want to come on the show finally? And it's been like, I got stuff. I'm doing stuff.
I got stuff. I mean, we did move within the last year, and I've like had to redo like a bunch of stuff in my life. So it's just like, oh. And finally, right, you approach me, and I'm like, well, I absolutely can't say no because I do actually have time finally. So, we gotta do this. We gotta do it now.
Finally, another V-Pal gem on our Infinity Gauntlet. Only a few left.
Which one am I? What do you think? Which gem?
I'd say you're probably the reality gem.
Okay.
What gem am I?
You're not a V-Pal.
You're not a V-Pal.
I'm sorry. I spaced out.
You're a member of this group.
So what?
You get to come on every week. You're a regular boy.
Yeah, so I just spaced out there. I guess I'm just one of Thanos' appendages.
Yeah.
Oh, like the one in his pants?
Pinky toe.
Yeah, exactly.
I went for the banal joke, and Boingo's just right to the little sex joke.
Dicks!
It's funny that you say the reality stone for me. I would consider myself to be the most delusional person in the V-Pal, so...
The reality stone allows you to warp reality, so...
You have a point.
Hatch, you say that, yet I'm the one who can get you freaked out by just going...
Well, it's funny.
But is it punny? Like, puns?
Occasionally. It kind of depends.
Yeah, sometimes you have to shit yourself.
What is the inner workings of the V-Pal discussions really like? Because Boingo never shares that shit with us.
It's a lot of... I mean... It's a lot of like...
It's a lot of yelling cum.
Oh yeah, that's like a big thing when we're in the VC.
Boingo, how many times have you referenced Butterfly by Crazy... What is it? Crazy Train? Crazy Town?
Okay, Hatch, we need to tell him about the bingo card.
Oh my god! Is there a Boingo Rider bingo card finally?
No.
Oh, we made a VC bingo card, which was just
Oh.
like these are the things that
Oh.
keep happening in our VC, right? I'm not entirely sure which square you're referencing though, Boingo. That's kind of the
Butterfly.
part of
The Boingo breaks out in the song.
Oh, like the Digimon
that-
theme.
No.
Oh, you've heard this before too, Buster.
Oh, I'm dumb.
But okay.
Baby.
Sorry, yes, I know. Sorry, It took me a second, and I'm like, yeah. That's a big one. That's a big one. Boingo breaking out in song. We also have a square that says Boingo boings out because Boingo often gets disconnected in a VC call.
Oh, that happened a lot last episode.
Oh shit.
Boingo has all kinds of special problems exclusive to him.
Yeah.
You don't have to call ADHD a special problem.
Hey. You know what they used to say ADHD was in the 50s?
The 50s?
In the 50s?
I'm
I
pretty sure
wasn't
we
alive
can't say
then.
that word on YouTube now.
No,
Whoa!
ADHD was called minor brain damage.
Oh,
I was like bracing myself. I was like, maybe that's the limit for me. I'm just kidding. It's like, I know I said there wasn't, but suddenly.
Suddenly.
let's not do slurs tonight, everybody. Let's just
Oh.
not.
I think like half of us
Oh.
are white anyway, so probably not.
And half of me is white,
Are
actually.
you white?
I'm half white.
Okay.
So-
What's the other half?
Japanese.
Okay. Oh shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how in our generation just being Japanese inherently makes you cool?
Well, it didn't make me cool when I was in elementary school, but
Yeah, that because anime was like the most popular form of media at that time.
oh yeah. Well,
Also racism back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to put it softly. Thank you.
Sometimes you just gotta have the hammers, man. Hammers are good.
Sometimes you gotta rip the band-aid off. Sometimes you just gotta
You can't
acknowledge.
keep dancing around with like cringe ass jokes.
I mean, that's half of the show.
Oh, true.
oh, is it? I got a dip then. I
Whoa,
got
no.
cringe out.
Oh,
Hatch wouldn't last 5 minutes in a solo call with Buster.
Oh
no,
god.
I just get very like up my own ass. I'm sorry.
You were also intolerable when Morbius came out.
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
Ooh,
you.
what happened when Morbius came
I
out?
forgot.
Every other fucking day, this motherfucker would be like, have sex, have sex.
Just because it was a song in the movie and it was catchy, and I'm like, that's funny. I actually said that earlier during the kill.
Catchy!
It's not a good song. It's just a
It's
Why
like
not
I
a
catchy
good
said
song?
earlier.
It's not a
that's
good
the
song, but it is hilarious when paired with who is
It's
it?
like
Matt
Seabat.
Smith dancing
like
in
Seabat.
front of the mirror.
Yeah.
It's like listening to Seabat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the Seabat of the superhero movies, and now I feel very sweaty. Ugh.
Who the fuck is Seabat?
You don't know
Oh.
what's? Do you really not know?
No.
Are we about to have to? Okay.
I might know this and just not know what it's called.
I'll. It's
Right. In fact, do you remember a while ago when people were making fun of that one dude for fucking to a song on Reddit?
Oh, that's what.
It's that. Yeah. Which like just I can't imagine.
Wasn't
you
this
know.
used in a Toonami promo for like
Yes.
Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah, it was, and I also think wow, there's a sitcom or something that it was also.
I've heard this song. I didn't know it was a meme.
Oh yeah, because you know what beat are you like thrusting to? Do you know what I mean?
What thrust to me? In
No,
fact, what
that
beat are
was-
you thrusting to?
God, this just became very uncomfortable.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, this is my sins are catching up to me.
I mean, do you want the serious answer or the lol vac answer?
Lolvac.
The GI Joe theme song.
How,
Yeah, Buster.
I just imagine. I'm also just going like, what if you do it to the Transformers theme song, where it just goes like the Autobots,
The season 3 song that's like.
Oh my god.
I think.
I
You good? Everybody.
Also, do not picture me in this situation. Picture like David Beckham. Do yourself a favor.
David Beckham.
I don't know what to do anymore, man.
Imagine David Beckham having
Look what he's done to Buster. God.
With anyone, I don't care who.
Anyway, yeah, that's why Seabat's like a meme because
Okay.
it doesn't have any game in bed. So.
We learn things here on Modular Media.
Oh,
we
yeah.
laugh and we learn.
Oh,
We
absolutely.
live, we laugh, we learn.
Mhm.
We play Sonic Adventure 2, except no.
Speaking of learning, so I must admit, I've heard a lot about you, Hatch, but I've not watched a lot of your content myself. So what would you say is kind of like the main thing you're really known for?
In terms of streaming, I would say probably art streams and saying like really out of pocket things while I'm drawing. I think that's like my niche is like a cursed sort of comfortable. You know,
I did kind of get that vibe. I watched your Minecraft stream from the other day. I watched the VOD of that last night.
Yeah. The vibes are pretty comfy, but also like incredibly cursed, right? Like just you know
And
what you expect.
And you will go on a joke for a while, and it just works.
Mm-hmm.
Does
like
it?
Gummy soup.
You spend like 20 minutes just laughing about how you banned someone for being a dickhead.
I mean, I don't know. I usually don't. I mean, my whole thing is like I'm a very like not confrontational person, but like if the wires are crossed the morning I wake up, it's like, all right.
That guy also was just blatantly being a dickhead too.
Oh yeah, no, of course. It wasn't like, you know, but it was like funny to me because it was just like so out of left field, you know? I mean, like normally the kind of stuff that I get on my channel in terms of people being an asshole is just like they come in and they start calling me specific gendered pronouns that don't apply to me, which is like just like if you read any of the chat rules or like if you even looked at my tag, like I'm pretty sure the first tag on my Twitch channel is that I'm non-binary. So it's like, man, reading comprehension has gone down in the last couple of years.
And I mean, like, I definitely agree with you that like it's fucking awful for people to do that, and like if it's in your tags, they should know better. But there is also the thing of like I feel like chat rules are starting to become like a more modern version of the what do you call it? TOS agreement.
Yeah. No, pretty much. Like I can imagine that, and I'll admit that I've been on the end of the spectrum where I like click yes to the chat rules because I know I'm not going to be a dickhead without actually reading them. But you know, it is.
And the problem is everybody has a different definition of being a dickhead these days.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, but yeah, no, I mean, it was kind of funny. I usually don't get people like just coming in and asking to join my Minecraft realm. Even though that is the first message they've ever sent in my chat, like, yeah, that's definitely a high amount of trust that I have for you, stranger.
I can't believe there was like no attempt at subterfuge there too. It was just straight up like, hey, can I come in?
Yeah, it's like, okay, not a hi, not a hello, excuse me. Like,
also, it's not even like ours to say yes to. It's Elma's. Elma's in control.
I'm like, I don't even have the permissions to do that. Like, I don't know what you expect.
They were in the chat too. They could have asked them.
And Elma would have still said no.
We don't know that for sure. We'll ask Elma when they're on in a few episodes.
But yeah, I do.
I didn't say what episode they were coming on.
A future one.
Yeah, just in the future.
Subscribe and pay attention for when Elma comes on.
Hell yeah.
Pay attention to Vac. That's basically just his entire life story.
Pay attention to us.
That's the life story of any content creator, my dude.
Yeah, I know.
Life story. Don't you go throwing stones in your glass house.
Yeah, true.
Don't you go lecturing me with your $30 haircut.
Is that all Kaiba jokes?
No, that's from Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Android 13.
Oh, yeah, I get it now.
With his trucker hat.
Oh, yeah.
Really though, who would pay more than $30 for a haircut unless they're getting like special styling for an event?
Boingo,
lots of
baby.
No,
I
$50
got,
bucks.
I got to put food in my stomach, man.
I
I
said
gotta put
Boingo,
toys on my
not back.
shelf.
Whatever.
Boingo, I'm pretty sure Boingo pays like $5 for a haircut.
Oh yeah, true. He is like poverty as hell. Like when it comes to budgets.
I also just mean
Wow.
like he's told me before, he just lets it grow until it's intolerable and then gets it all shaved down.
I'm sorry, Boingo. I don't know what's came out for me.
A lot of things, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
I'm just very hot and sweaty, and I hate it.
A parent named Lee.
The hell did he mean by that?
Bastards. Should we start actually going through questions that people actually sent through
Yeah,
Twitter?
people actually sent
Social
questions.
media questions,
'Cause we actually
everybody.
got those this week.
Yeah, it's the second time ever in the history of our show, so that proves Hatch's popularity. So, first question from Huey Doulahan, VTuber, at Huey Doulahan. What inspired you to create Nothing Ordinary, which is your webcomic, correct?
Yeah. Ooh, that's kind of a tough one. I thought I had an answer for this. I mean I do. It's kind of a lot of things. I would say that my comic is inspired by things that I care about. So you're gonna see like a lot of tropes and stuff that I'm very passionate and interested in. I think not necessarily the thing that inspired it, but the thing that pushed me to do it. I had recently lost my job in 2016 because I had to take a leave of absence because my health was so bad. And I was just like, well, I have nothing better to do with my life. I might as well just start making this comic. And here we are 7 years later. Dear
I mean,
God.
that's how a lot of great content gets started, is people just having like a shitty time at their job or losing their job and going, I need something for me.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I guess Nothing Ordinary is inspired just by like I'm really into supernatural horror and weird stuff, and I absolutely love the trope of found family, so it kind of spiraled out of those ideas into a thing that's uncontrollable now.
So for listeners who haven't read it, what is the general pitch of Nothing?
So Nothing Ordinary is like I would say it's a supernatural thriller about magic and monsters being real and the real world, I guess. And it's mostly just about a cast of characters who kind of come to terms with their pasts having like a supernatural element to it. That's pretty much the best like way I can pitch it, I think.
So would you say there's like a Scooby-Doo vibe to it?
I would say, yeah, Scooby-Doo is probably like not a totally off comparison to make for sure.
I was like half joking. That's wonderful.
No, I mean it's you've got ensemble cast and you've got magic and monsters, so it's Scooby-Doo-esque. I wouldn't disagree. Yeah.
Does that make Lynn Scooby or Scrappy?
That's a tough one. I'll have to get back to you on that point. I hesitate to compare.
You should do like a special cover that's like all the characters in the Scooby-Doo outfits that they would be wearing if they were the Scooby-Doo characters.
I will definitely consider that.
Oh man, now I'm just imagining Mint with no sleeves but the collared shirt and the ascot.
I mean, it kind of writes itself. Am I right? No.
Are you fellow?
But I do hesitate to compare any of my characters to Scrappy-Doo, my least favorite character of any franchise on the planet.
You're not a Scrappy fan?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Nah, Scrappy's alright.
It is true that Scrappy is better than some of the alternatives, but Scrappy is certainly not my favorite.
I was gonna say, I can think of far worse child sidekicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Lynn. I'm joking.
No, it's fine. I finally get to understand how you really feel about my webcomic, Boingo.
Well,
after all
let's
time.
do this. Boingo, what do you like most about Nothing Ordinary?
I like the kind of just mystery. It's like I wouldn't say it's like it's an unfolding unease of a mystery where you don't get a lot of clues and you just get more questions, and it's just like that's the point. You aren't aware of anything yet.
So
Where?
would you say it's got like a J.J. Abrams vibe going on?
Oh my god.
I'd say it's more like season 1 of Gravity Falls.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I will say, I kind of hesitated to say this. Now that I'm thinking about it, though, like, I did really enjoy, like, the first 2 seasons of Supernatural, and I think that might be why I'm making Nothing Ordinary, is because it's like, man, Supernatural just didn't turn out good, so I'm gonna make Supernatural if I enjoyed it, right?
That is one of those shows that just completely passed me by. And like I know so many people who like that was a huge part of their lives for a while.
Oh, it dropped off for me. I was lucky enough to not be like absorbed to the point where like it had like a Game of Thrones style fall for me, right? So
Yeah, I've been told by many people like you can watch it up to season 5 and then they just kept it going because it was too popular.
oh, exactly. Yeah. So yeah.
Like,
But as for J.J. Abrams vibes, I don't really know.
mhm.
I don't I don't watch enough J.J. Abrams films to be able to tell you.
Oh, what?
whether
You
or
mean you
not
haven't
that's
seen
accurate.
Alcatraz?
No, I have not.
I was gonna pull out another obscure J.J. Abrams reference, but then I realized I don't know any.
Super 8.
You don't know it? I will say I
It's
do like
Super 8
Super 8.
obscure
Yes.
now. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. I
Well,
think Super 8 is
people, like,
considered obscure.
I just don't think people talk about it.
Okay, we gotta
Yeah.
do that movie on AF at some point then, because
Yeah.
I fuck with that movie.
Super 8's really good.
That movie was Stranger Things before Stranger Things.
It's true.
That
How
being
could
said,
you
that is not my
those
AF
two?
pick for this month. I've decided my AF pick for this month, and it's not that.
Oh, thank God.
Well, now it's gonna be my next one, Buster. Thanks. Let's fucking do this. Why the Last Man 2, baby?
I probably like it more than Why the Last Man. So.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the one other Twitter question we got here. From
No, we got 3. We got 3.
Yeah,
got
one
three.
replied
I've only
to-
seen 2.
someone
Go
replied
to
to Boingo.
my quote retweet. Go to my quote.
Okay. Let me read the last one from the main tweet then, and then we'll do the other last one in a little bit. From octopus emoji, metal octopus emoji at octopus hermit. Yes, I fucking did that.
Nice. Nice.
If you made a noir I'm assuming that means noir. Or that might be
Nothing
short for
Ordinary.
Nothing Ordinary. Is that short
It
for
is
Nothing
short for
Ordinary?
Nothing Ordinary. That's
Okay.
the abbreviation that I use for Nothing Ordinary.
Okay.
is more.
If you made an AU story for Nothing Ordinary, what would it be?
Ooh. I saw that question and I was like, oh, there's just too many, dude.
I
Like,
think we know what it has to be now, though. Nothing Ordinary meets Scooby Doo.
meet Scooby Doo, maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of lawsuits waiting to happen from Hanna-Barbera. If you know what I'm talking about.
I feel like David Zaslav kind of has his hands full right now. He's not going to be coming after little old you.
Oh, thank God. If I had to pick an, because the thing is, like, kind of notoriously, I do talk about on my streams that, like, when I have ideas, they tend to be like reskinned Nothing Ordinary. It tends to be like it tends to be like the same characters in a completely different setting.
I feel that.
It's a little common. It's just like I just like these characters. I don't want to make new characters.
I mean, back when I wanted to be a storyteller, most of my stories were just, what if me and my friends, but in Star Wars?
Oh my God, that was all of me in high school making comics.
Mhm.
I repeat again, me and you would have. I would have hoped me and you would have been friends in high school.
I think we would have. I think there was a very weird part of early high school for me where I was delusionally religious, and kind of like coming out of that. So
I feel that.
It depends on like the year, right? Like the year of high school.
You say that as if I wasn't really good friends with legit a Pentecostal person.
Well, I mean, like from my end, I was very
No, I'm just saying, like I was friends with like one of those Christian people who was like, I'm not allowed to wear shorts.
Oh God.
What the fuck?
But in terms of like a AU, God, I really thought I had an answer to this, and I don't know if I necessarily do. One, I guess this will be my cop-out answer, is one that I've been wanting to draw and explore because I think it would be funny, is and how would you explain it? Like an actor AU where the comics canon is like a TV series.
Yeah.
All the characters are actors.
Power Rangers RPM.
Yeah. That one sounds incredibly fun because I would love to change all the personalities of my characters to be entirely different from the current canon of the story. I think the other one I'm pretty invested in, I've done a couple doodles for this one, is like, I'm really into cowboy stuff, and I cannot even explain why. So there does exist technically a cowboy AU for Nor.
I mean, you can't go wrong with cowboys. It's one of those classic aesthetics.
I fucking love cowboys. Like,
but do
They're
you
boys
love
that are cows?
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I fuck with Back at the Barnyard.
I don't think we've mentioned Back at the Barnyard since we got Hal on the podcast.
Oh my god.
It's like every guest episode we have to mention Barnyard or like some obscure Nickelodeon show. That's the
Is Barnyard considered obscure?
Or I don't know.
It kind of is now, yeah. Like
I don't know anymore.
Most Nickelodeon shows, at least in the circles I travel, don't seem to be remembered well these days. So I think like most Nickelodeon's 2000 shows are kind of obscure now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks, Butch Hartman.
Oh,
or like
God.
not even just Butch, just like all the Nickelodeon executives who are just, I hate Nickelodeon.
Thanks, Drake Bell.
Oh god.
Who's another shithead I can throw out?
Did they ever find Jake Bell? Didn't he go missing?
Did he go missing? I didn't hear about that. I thought he was in jail.
He went missing like near a school, which is concerning.
Oh no!
But
Drake Bell's on the run with Chris Chan.
oh god.
Good, they deserve each other, honestly.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Of course you would bring up Chris Chan, boy.
Oh my god.
Chris Chan is usually my thing, Buster. You just don't like hearing the word Chris Chan at all.
I don't. Even
Well,
though
I brought up Chris Chan because the Hatch be watching the Christery.
Oh, really? Really?
I gotta know.
It's one of those things where it's like, I did not choose this hyperfixation. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so... It doesn't seem real, right?
It's like
you're
staring into the
and
mouth of madness.
yeah, it's like this it doesn't seem real, right?
Mhm.
I wouldn't necessarily say I enjoy my time doing that.
Okay,
But
good.
I do find it incredibly like wild and like fascinating, right?
So
Like,
you're watching the Geno videos, right?
I am. Yeah.
What part are you on?
I'm no, this is not gonna bode well on my character. I am caught up and I'm currently rewatching it with somebody else.
Oh my god. I'm like 3 parts behind, so that's kind of incredible.
It's a lot.
That's just like cringe people's One Piece.
The last part I saw was the April Fool's Day video where he gave like a happy ending about Chris becoming a well-adjusted person.
We could only wish, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
For like half that video, he really had me going, I gotta admit. I was like, I don't remember this, but it doesn't sound too... Wait a minute!
Yeah, that is an unfortunate interest. I wouldn't even say interest. I hesitate to say interest.
Morbid fascination.
Yeah, it's like I can't... I don't know. I just... Yeah. I don't recommend it to anybody.
Chris Chan is just one of those things where, like, a certain sect of this generation, that name is forever going to be etched in our minds.
Yeah, it's it's a lot. It's a lot.
I genuinely hope that, like, my nephew never asks me who Chris Chan is, though.
Oh.
That'll be a day.
Oh god, don't even will that into existence, man.
No. There's things that like I'm holding up to him like, hey, maybe you should get into this. I'd like it if you got into this. And then there's things that I'm like, I'm keeping this far the fuck away from you, buddy.
Like Transformers?
Like yeah, I finally indoctrinated my nephew into Transformers today. Because I was at Toy Federation and they had a like I think it's a Cyberverse One Step Changer Bumblebee for like $5, and I was like, I've been kicking the tires on getting him some Transformers appropriate for his age. So let's go ahead and get this because it's here and it's cheap. And then I went home and we were just looking for something to put on for him. And on YouTube, they have all of G1. They are free to watch. So I just put it on for him and he was immediately like sucked into it.
Yeah, that happened with like I showed my young cousin OKKO.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but like I don't know, but like my uncle always shows him like stupid YouTube garbage. Unfortunately.
Oh no!
Oh no! Not the Coco Melon.
Yeah, they put Coco Melon a lot for him.
Yeah,
not the
he does
dancing
watch a lot of
fruit.
Coco Melon.
Also, speaking of Transformers, look at this funny meme.
Oh, we do be like that. Also, thank you for putting in that visual stimuli in this audio podcast.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just look at funny memes and I'm like, Vac needs to know immediately.
This whole episode should just be us sending memes to each other and being like, that's really funny, and giving like zero context.
That's just what I do all the time. It's like, hey, look at this visual thing you can't see, and then like Boingo has to describe it in graphic detail.
Graphic?
Maybe not graphic, but like detail.
We have a blurry image of an ambulance driving, and it says in impact font, Transformers fans be like, OMG, he's such a DILF, hard eyes emoji. There you go. Everybody laugh now.
Oh. I take back my laugh. You don't get it anymore.
I rescind my laughter.
Yeah, I rescind it.
Dear God, I'm just reminded of the fucking bit from Watchmen. They look up.
Movie or the comic?
The comic. What do you think? What do you think? I'm some fucking plebeian?
Do you think this is Snyder Brocast? Get out of here. Zack Snyder has made exactly one good movie in his entire life, and it's his 300 adaptation, and it's only good because it actually is a perfect adaptation of the comic. Like, really, that's a movie Frank Miller made via Zack Snyder.
Great. Two people I dislike for different reasons.
Frank Miller's coming around.
I doubt it. I don't know. It's still like you do shit sometimes, and it's like you can't take that back.
That's fair.
No, you should always be allowed to redeem and grow as a person.
I guess, but the way he's doing it.
Because the minute you say that someone can't be redeemed is the minute that you can never be redeemed.
I guess. Freaking tell that to Cartoon Twitter.
Hatchetko, who would you never redeem?
Who would you damn to hell?
Are we talking about celebrities or personal?
Anyone.
I mean, like, unless it's like Dave from the Two Apartments Down.
Nah. Oh man, in terms of, I don't know. I'm pretty. I would say, as an individual, I'm a little too forgiving. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm not about second chances. I'm about the third and fourth.
Yeah, I feel that. Chance, says Buster, you know what I mean? Who 2 seconds ago was like, Frank Miller could go to hell.
I'm sorry. Like he's like the exception to the rule.
So I don't really. I mean, there are definitely people I dislike, but I don't really feel like I have a right to lambast them publicly. I'm just some guy, right? You know,
just some guy.
I mean,
full circle moment.
I mean, I kind of wish all the executives of Toei would die just so we can get more Kamen Rider shit in the West. But like, it's nothing against them personally. I'm sure they're okay dudes, as Japanese boomers go.
Oh man. This podcast's been off the rails, honestly. Like Hatchetko was right. This entire podcast
when is the show ever on the rails, Buster? Do you not go here?
I do. It's just been a while. I wasn't on last week. I was on for like 2 seconds last week because.
That's true. We didn't even advertise you.
Yeah, you did at the end.
A little bit.
But like not in like the video description.
Yeah, because I wanted it to be a surprise. I figured it'd be funnier that way.
Dinosaur Office. I just felt like a Dinosaur Office mood. You gotta rewatch the show.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's a College Humor thing that was on the Nintendo 3DS Nintendo Video Server. It's a long story. I'll make a video on it eventually.
I haven't heard the name College Humor in at least 2 years.
You probably heard of Dropout.
Hey.
Hey.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
I rescind my A.
You've probably seen clips of it though, Vac.
Yeah.
What the fuck
I
are
feel-
we talking
Yeah,
about?
I feel
Dinosaur
like you can't
offense.
be friends with
No,
with
what is Dropout?
It's
Dropout
college humor.
is College Humor's like own streaming service.
Oh,
But
That's
they
lame.
make good content. They make good content.
I didn't realize they'd made a streaming service now.
Yeah,
They have a ongoing D&D show called Roll20. No, Dimension 20.
Oh, that's the thing everyone talked about when they say D20. It's like, oh, it's a good show or some shit.
Yeah.
D20 is also like a common D&D
Yeah.
term because it refers to the type of dice you use.
Yeah, I know, but like, you know, I talk more than usual.
They also have several game shows that are fun.
Okay, so basically there's nothing that would interest me there.
Do you like Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I mean, yeah, but I haven't watched it since like my early teenage years.
Just think of it as like that. It's just more complicated Whose Line.
I didn't even watch the revival of Whose Line past the first episode.
Wait, Whose Line got canceled?
Yeah.
Whose Line was a show in like the late 90s, early 2000s. It got canceled, and then because it got crazy popular for people rewatching it on Tumblr, they brought it back for a few seasons.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I've learned something new today.
Yeah, Vac. You should make an hour-long retrospective.
The day I do that is the day I've lost all credibility as a YouTuber.
You have credibility as a YouTuber?
Yeah.
I mean, like a little bit.
I don't know. Whatever you say, Vac. Whatever you say.
Wow. My friends, ladies and gentlemen.
Buddy, that's how you know we're your friends.
So you want to do the last question now?
There's more questions? Let's go. Yeah, why
We
not?
have one more question from Hell Nightmare at Hell_Nightmare1. How did you come up with your name? Well, Jesus Christ, Boingo, are you okay?
Yes.
What happened?
Going down.
I'm much more interested in this now.
My phone fell and hit a mason jar.
What?
Are both those things okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that's a
Okay.
mason jar.
It's a mason jar.
Well, the mason jar sounds broken.
No, it just had a can in it.
Oh, okay. All right. Why are you
So
putting cans
how'd you
in
come up with your name?
Yeah, so I don't think I've ever talked about this before.
Oh, exclusive.
Ooh, yeah, a little modular media components exclusive.
Aw.
So I for a very long time, unnecessary backstory time. For a very long time, my internet handle, which I will not repeat, was based off of a title of a song I was really into by my favorite band.
You were at This Is the Story of a Girl?
Oh shit! Back! Come on! I told you not to dox me this episode.
I'm surprised. I had no idea you were one of my old Tumblr friends from back in the day.
Look, I can't believe you doxed your old Tumblr friends, man. I thought you were better than that.
But I think I was getting at the point where I was like, wow, I really don't have like an identity for myself, right? Because everything that I make, this was also back when I was making fan art. Like I very rarely make fan art now, but I was making like exclusively fan art. Like I wasn't making any OC content or anything like that. Ko in Japanese is usually like it's a female add-on to like a name to kind of say like the child of blank, right? So if someone's name's Hanako, I wouldn't say it's a suffix. It's not like san or chan or anything like that, but it is like a naming convention.
It makes something small, like Panko.
Yeah, so if you have like a name like Hanako, right? Hanako is like child of flower, flower child, right? So I was just kind of thinking like, you know, I want a name to kind of represent like the kind of vibe that I enjoy, and I love you know, all things horror and creepy. So I'm like, well, we'll go with Hatchetko because Hatchetko sounds a lot like Hachiko, which is a real Japanese name. And I figured we'll just go from there. And a lot of people don't know how to pronounce it, but it's fine. It is the grave that I have dug for myself is is adding a bunch of, weird naming conventions that people are not going to understand. So that's pretty much it. It's just like, kind of like almost like the term axe kid, right? Like that could be another way to just say my name, right? So
or you're like a little hatchet. You're like that axe accessory that comes with that new Titan class transformer. And now I have to find visual aid, so you know what I'm talking about.
I can imagine, but visual aid is very helpful. I am notoriously living under a rock most of my life. So.
Yeah, so they're making a Titan class, which is their big like $150 price point figure that is the spaceship that the Decepticons fly to Earth in the first episode of the animated series.
Oh, okay.
And they gave it a female robot mode, and its name is the Nemesis, and they gave it 2 gun accessories, but then they were like, and she also has a melee accessory. Check out this axe she comes with.
It's just a little bitty axe. I love that.
It looks more like a flag to me. It looks like one of those little American flags that people plant in their yards.
Yeah, exactly. I can see it. Yeah. So like a little hatchet. It's also like, having part of my name being Japanese and part of my name being in English is kind of like a reference to the fact that I'm half Japanese and I'm half white, so to say. So I don't know, kind of
oh my god, you're half white?
Yeah.
And just in case you're curious, this is the back of the box so you can see what the rest of her looks like.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
People listening to this aren't going to know what I'm saying that's sick about, but it is.
Go look up Transformers Titan class Nemesis. You'll find images of nothing but this toy.
Because it's the only one that exists of it, right?
As far as I know. I'm surprised a third party hasn't done this before, to be honest. But yeah, that's the questions. What do we do now?
Fuck around, find out.
Oh,
Fuck around and find out. I don't know. Do you have questions for me? Does Buster have questions for me? I'm just kidding.
Just start going down the line. Like, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Okay.
Which is actually a surprise to a lot of people because I use red in a lot of character designs, but my favorite color is purple.
I mean what is red but purple without blue?
Exactly. So I mean,
purple is also a very common like favorite color amongst our generation. I mean, not to say like you're basic or anything, just like I hear that a lot.
You know what? Even if it means I'm being basic, I'm okay with that, right? Sometimes being basic is. I was about to say something really cringe. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. My favorite color is green, but I don't use green in any of my art design because I don't want it to look like I have a green screen that's not turned on or something.
Oh, I see. That would be really funny though.
Yeah, I mean, like red is also just like a very striking color. It's the reason like why every leader of most of the leaders of Super Sentai and the Power Rangers is the Red Ranger. It's the reason why most Kamen Riders have a red base form. It's the reason why there's a lot of red in a lot of American superheroes like Superman and Spider-Man. Just pops, you know?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a good color. I do like red. It is probably my second favorite color. So you know. Now, don't ask me what my third favorite color is. I'm not going to tell anybody.
You got to keep some things to the chest.
Exactly.
Excuse me.
Don't excuse
you. What do we even need to excuse you for? What did you do?
I burped.
Oh my god!
I don't actually think
get this guy the hell out of here! Burping on modular components. That's never happened before.
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, jeez.
Everybody, they can come back whenever.
They'll come back. I didn't actually kick them.
No, I know you did.
Sometimes it's the gag, you know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta like walk out of the room, do a little fake stompy stomp, and then you come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You've done that before, Hatch.
Oh, I have for comedic effect. I do think it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to do that like every episode of No Prize at some point.
Now I just make you fall off your chair laughing.
Yeah, or you like demean me in some way for having a favorite comic book character.
No, I demean you for having a very obvious fetish.
Listen, buddy.
I'm listening.
I'm
Oh,
also
shit.
listening.
I didn't prepare a speech. Fuck. Listen next week.
Listen tomorrow on No Price Podcast, where we can hear back go on about Supergirl again.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about all the like fucked up shit that's been happening in the news. We're just going to have the trial of the vacuuminator.
It's just me pointing at every blonde superhero girl, going like, "Vac, vac."
And I'm like, no, you can't make me.
Then I point out a blonde Super Sentai girl, and they just like, again,
The one.
that is her one. Hey,
I do.
That one is doing a lot of work. Come on.
Yeah, she is. I do like Himeno a lot. She might be my favorite King Hojer.
When the obvious selection is right there is the black one.
I mean, like, it seems like the fan favorite is Rita, and I can't blame folks for that. They are a great character, but like Himeno though.
Oh yeah, Hatch. I don't know if I've told you. One of the main characters in the current Sentai is ex-gender, non-binary.
Yeah, I think you did mention it though.
Okay. Or maybe Raph mentioned it.
Yeah, one of my Toku buddies, one of my 2 or 3 Toku buddies that I've got.
One of those weirdos. What must it be like to be on the outside of the Japanese Power Rangers frenzy?
I couldn't even tell you, and I am that person that's on the outside.
Also,
I
just
hear
for
about
the
it, and it sounds
listeners,
interesting. Oh, go ahead.
just for the listeners, Buster has legit decided to sit the rest of the show out because they're tired. So everybody, please go check Buster's out. Links in the video description if you haven't already.
S in chat for Buster.
F.
F.
All right, we did it. They're laid to rest.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess here's something we could talk about. What are some of your goals at the moment in terms of just like content creation and like where you want to take your streaming in the next year or so, Hatch?
Oh, well, a couple of things. Not necessarily streaming oriented. I'm trying to get my comic to be like regularly updated. The unfortunate part is like comics in general are just like very difficult for me to produce. So I feel like that stuff doesn't happen very often, but I would like it to. In terms of streaming, I am currently in the process of working on a 2.0 model, which is kind of well overdue.
Yeah.
I don't know. In terms of goals, I kind of just want to enjoy doing things and do them frequently. That's kind of, I think, where I'm at.
I don't believe like this isn't something we usually like try to talk to people about, but like it has come up a lot in the last few guest episodes. Is content creation like something you want to be like your main way you support yourself, or is it just something you do for fun?
I mean, it's kind of like a little bit of both. It's kind of like a mixed bag, right? I wouldn't necessarily say that I want Twitch streaming to be what my income or career is. I do enjoy it. And I'm getting back into like having a lot of fun with it. In terms of like monetarily, if comics and art could support me for the rest of my life, I absolutely wouldn't complain, right? But yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends on the person. I think most people who do content creation would like to have that as like their end goal. And so for me, it's like, yeah, but it depends on what it is, right?
You are only allowed to stream on Twitch, and that is the only way you can make money.
How dare you attempt YouTuber float plane?
I mean, if streaming ended up being the moneymaker, then I mean, I would feel very stupid not to pursue that opportunity. But I do think that I don't want anything. I've had many times in my life where things have taken me away from creating art and doing comics, and I think that would be like an issue, right? If that was like my thing is streaming, and then it's like I'm trying to also make comics. So, yeah, I mean, I would consider it an end goal. I think it just really depends.
Could we see a Hatchetko Patreon someday?
Maybe. I currently have a Hatchetko Ko-fi, which is very similarly formatted to Patreon in terms of its, I guess, tiers and benefits kind of thing. I think if Ko-fi gets to the point where I absolutely cannot be using it to distribute behind the scenes content that I'm doing, absolutely Patreon. But at this time, it's like it's small enough that I can be content with just a couple of works in progresses behind the scenes and stuff like that. So Ko-fi's working out pretty okay. Maybe down the line, a Patreon might be necessary. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it does seem like the strategy these days is just everybody has every kind of support page you can make, and it's just pick your
poison.
No, I was gonna say pick your poison, but that almost sounds rude. It's like the pick.
I know what you mean.
Pick your money transferring service.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because as much as like Patreon and Ko-fi try to be their own little like social media or video sharing sites, at the end of the day, they're glorified PayPals for a lot of us.
Yeah, pretty much. I definitely don't disagree there. So yeah, yeah. If it gets big enough, maybe I will have to use Patreon. But at this time, I am just a humble little thing on the internet.
Just a little guy.
I am just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Well, if you ever are interested in being just a little guy with a bunch of other little guys, there's definitely an open door for you here at Modular. Because I think this episode has gone quite well. Not that I'm ending the episode. I'm just like, yeah, this has been a vibe.
The vibes are good. I'm glad. I definitely, I mean, on my part, and nothing against anybody here, I definitely hesitated for some of it because social events are just not what I'm good at. So, but now that I like understand the vibe, I think it'll be.
I mean, that's the
easier,
good thing about Components. Components is really our no pressure show. It's just show up and be willing to chat about whatever comes up.
Yeah.
The other shows, like, there's a little more structure, and I certainly put a lot of pressure on myself to get those shows working well. But, like, that doesn't necessarily mean, like, the Buster doesn't care if I miss a news story for this week in Toku, and Boingo doesn't care if I don't read a comic. It's just like, oh, you didn't read this, okay. It's, but I'm like, no, I have to make sure I read everything that looks interesting or important to me, and we gotta have all the news, and it's gotta be in the correct order, and I gotta know everything about it so we can get it all out. And it's like, dude, 10 people watch these shows. Calm down.
It's mostly just like, realistically, what this is once we get popular, this is our backlog.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we have a lot of content that you can go and watch.
Yeah.
The Modular Media guys are not an overnight success. I'll have you know, I've been watching them since 2020. Shout out to whoever can actually say that. All two of you.
I might be one of those too.
Oh my god!
Let's go.
I mean, here's the thing. Realistically, Boingo wouldn't be where Boingo is at, like, as a conceptual idea, as a content creator, as I am today without Hatchetko.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I can legit remember back to the days where Boingo and I were doing. I think that was the original Analytical Fanboys days, and just like before or after the show, Boingo would just be like, "Yeah, so I'm thinking about VTubing. You know, I've been watching a bunch of VTubers, and one of them has been really supportive, and I think I might give it a shot." And I'm just like, "Okay, dude, whatever."
And now I am the VTube boy. I am the VTuber character on our whole thing.
Yeah, and like you know, I don't want to put down any of your old stuff, but you're more well known now as like a VTuber and a Kamen Rider reviewer than anything before that. I think even like just because of the volume of stuff you've done, you've at least being known as the guy who makes videos about Jobby the Hong.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing, those only get like a couple views every once in a while. You know what got a lot of fucking views? My Kamen Rider video this last week.
Hey!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Gotta love some Bugman reviewing.
Gotta love. Although
I don't think anybody in Geats is a bug. They're all like mystical animals.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any bugs.
It's gonna
all the bugs got sent to Super Sentai.
It's gonna be the final boss of Geats is just like a giant actual like praying mantis shows up.
No, you know who it is? It's a cockroach. Daichi's a cockroach now.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's fucking smart. They should put that in the show. They probably will put that in the show. Hatchetko, what do you think they'll put in the show?
Oh, that you
On the
know,
spot.
What'll be in
yeah.
the last 8 episodes of Kamen Rider Geats?
Oh, a twist like you'll never expect, and like the weirdest hetero ship on the planet that nobody asked for, you know, and then
You joke, but you're getting close to a lot of people's fears.
I mean, yeah, that I've seen a lot of, not to say that this is the direction that it's going, but like I definitely have seen like a lot of downfalls in terms of popular media, and I have definitely seen a continual trend in many of those things.
I mean, there is a part of me that kind of fears Geats ending with Kawa killing Ace for some contrived reason, like the power goes to his head, and then he gets together with Neon for no reason.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
I don't know. I think everybody's freaking out a little bit too much on the recent like stills, as if we hadn't been through a bunch of fucking bullshit already that looks one way and not the other.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember
it's not
like 2 days where there was a Photoshop of Ace and Sarumi getting married going around, and people thought it was real.
And just imagine understanding that you should watch a show before you make any fucking decisions about like its quality.
Yeah, just imagine being a media literate human person.
Just imagine.
Couldn't be me.
No, you just suckle on Alucard.
Which version of Alucard? Because there's a few.
Specifically like Symphony of the Night or like the Netflix adaptation, like very pretty boy.
That's a good Alucard.
I mean, something about it, you know, like it just hits.
I mean, I don't give a shit about the Castlevania games, but I do adore Netflix Castlevania.
It's pretty good. Season 3 was kind of rough, but
I still need to watch it.
Season 4. I will tell you.
First 2 seasons, and then I didn't have a Netflix subscription.
I will personally tell you, season 3 kind of rough. Season 4 is well worth getting through season 3, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's really good. I do. So yes, I do. One of the things is.
Do we ever reach the heights of You Must Be the Belmont again?
There's some good shit. I hesitate to say anything about it because I think it's one of those things that you gotta experience it. There is in terms of banter, no, I mean there's some really good shit in season 4. I can't even like say anything about it. I would say personally yes, but I think that's going to depend on your personal preferences and tastes.
Does it have a proper ending or did it get Netflixed?
No, it has a proper ending.
Okay.
And it really, in my opinion, and I may be wrong, but genuinely nice and satisfying ending. Like one that I was like content with, right? Like,
oh, speaking of getting Netflix, Boingo, do you know what I was shocked to discover is still going the other day?
What?
The Dragon Prince.
Huh.
That's got another season dropping soon.
Damn.
I think they're on like season 4 or 5.
Good on them, though.
Yeah, it's a solid little show. I gotta get back to it.
Remember when everyone was just saying, like, oh man, this is just shitty Korra.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. Jesus. No.
I never finished Korra and I haven't watched The Dragon Prince, so I have no stakes in any of what is being said.
I finished Korra like years after it actually ended, and I was like, that's fine, I don't see what all the fuss is about.
I think, people tend to over-exaggerate how bad things tend to be. That's just... I mean, I'm sure you two are, like, very familiar with, like, people reacting to media in such a way, right?
True, but I am also the person who stopped watching Korra because season 2 was dog shit. And then season 3 was alright, and season 4 was a legitimately satisfying conclusion, I thought.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Season 1, though. Season 1 was definitely the best.
Well, season 1 was the only thing they fucking planned.
Yeah.
I dropped my drawing tablet pen.
Uh-oh.
Man, imagine if they had stretched that story out over 4 seasons. That would have been a very different show.
I am extremely happy we at least got Henry Rollins as a fucking airbender.
Mm-hmm.
He was GOAT. He was great.
Friggin', Steve Blum as a Mon, though. That was like peak me being like, oh yeah, Steve Blum's one of the best voice actors ever. And now I'm like, Steve Blum's good, but like he tends to just do the same voice a lot, which is just like an amped up version of his speaking voice.
What's your favorite voice actor, Hatch?
Yeah.
My favorite voice actor? Ooh. I mean, I'm inclined to say something related to Castlevania, and I shan't. Although I will put in my 2 cents. I will put in my 2 cents that James Callis does an amazing Alucard. So, you know. But my favorite voice actor, I think I have like kind of a basic answer. And I think it's only because it's what's like in recent memory. I think Matt Mercer is a really talented voice actor.
Is that just because you've been playing Zelda?
It is because I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom quite religiously.
Who's he in that?
Ganondorf.
He's Ganondorf.
Oh, okay.
And he does...
I keep forgetting that Tears of the Kingdom has voice acting, because I'm so used to Zelda games not having voice acting and being annoyed by that.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I guess my actual answer,
Ew.
that's very tough. It's very, very tough. I mean, no, I'm like thinking of like every voice actor that I've ever like known the name of, and it's like, ooh, it's so tough. Like, I like a lot of voice actors, yeah. And a lot of the voice actors I like are Japanese, so I think that makes it a lot harder for people to relate to.
Well, who's one you really like? Just go ahead and throw one out.
Favorite Japanese voice actor, easily Mamoru Miyano. Like, the range on that man is insane. He does.
Has he voiced anything I would know?
Light Yagami from Death Note.
I know that. I haven't watched the Death Note anime though.
I mean, he's in so much that like I feel like there's like a non-zero chance that he's been in something that you've watched, right?
Has he been in like Ultraman or Kamen Rider?
I think it's mostly just
anime.
Yeah, just anime. But he's in quite a bit. Here, I'll just send you his Wikipedia page.
Oh my god,
He's a very talented voice
actor. He's not a bad looking dude either.
Oh yeah, no, that helps. So definitely helps.
How's Hatchetko right now?
Oh, my spouse is doing good.
Nice.
Yeah, not much to say. Doing good.
He's Ultraman Zero.
Holy shit,
really?
he's
That's
Zero?
That's so funny. I was like, probably not. Probably not anything you know.
He's
and then it's
the
like,
most famous Ultraman of the modern era.
Let's go. Yeah, he's an incredibly talented voice actor. He has quite the range. Yeah.
That's hilarious. If Buster was here right away, they would have been like, "Oh, that's Zero's voice actor." You know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of Zero's stuff, but I do dig on Zero because Zero's like the main inspiration for my favorite Ultraman Z.
Oh, okay. I'm learning more things as we talk.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll get you into Japanese Star Trek one day. Don't worry.
Japanese Star Trek.
That's essentially what Ultraman is. It started as Japanese Twilight Zone, and then it evolved into Japanese Star Trek.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite the pitch.
It's a storied history that I don't even know the full details in, because I've only gotten into Ultraman in the last couple of years. I've seen like 4 or 5 shows. Or no, probably close to like 8. Because I forget that like so many like little side shows and whatnot have happened in the last couple of years that I've had to watch for Twit. That's the not so fun thing about Tokusatsu these days, is like every show has like 2 or 3 little mini spin-off shows that may or may not be good. Not even related to whether or not the main show is good.
Just gotta take
watch
the plunge. Yeah.
You gotta watch content to make content.
Yeah.
You can get I forget what the full title is, but you can get a Kamen Rider Veil, or you could get an Ultraman Regulus. Which am I talking about, in the positive or the negative? Ooh, nobody knows, because these people haven't seen either of those shows. But Twit listeners, you know what I'm on about. Leave a like if you're a Twit listener.
Leave a comment if you listen to the No Prize.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Comment about your opinion on Amy Pascal, everybody's favorite topic of discussion this weekend. So,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a quarter of the podcast. It's just
So.
so.
No, that's. I mean, that's totally
you guys
fine.
want to talk about Anthony coming back to Smosh?
That's crazy. Yeah.
It's fucking wild that our childhood is coming back.
It's wild, but also like it's the most like wholesome and hopeful thing I've seen in years.
Yeah, it's like it feels good.
It genuinely gives me hope for the future of creating on YouTube. That those two guys were able to get back together and get their company back, and are now like trying to like they're not throwing away everything Ian turned Smosh into in the in between years, but they're going like we're gonna bring old Smosh back and we're gonna find ways for it to work with new Smosh.
Hell yeah! No, I'm into it. I'm so into it. Oh.
I've watched just about every one of the. Here's Anthony in this series we've been doing for years without him. They've done this week, and it's legitimately good. Like the guy's still got a screen presence, which is.
I mean, he's been doing interviews for like ever now.
Yeah, I've always known that, but I've never watched them. Just I don't know why they've never like really come across my feed. I guess.
No, it's just it's also just heartwarming to just know like. Damn, you could fall out of love with a thing you made and then be able to just come back to it when you like fall in love with it again.
It's some kind of wonderful.
It's just delightful.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they remake like the Pokemon and Mortal Kombat lip syncs. That would be great.
That would be incredible.
That would be insane.
They did that for Smosh's 20th anniversary in a couple of years. Oh my god.
What a thing.
Oh man.
I would love to see them do an updated if the internet were in real life and it's just everyday life.
All right. Here is the weekly Boingo draws something while doing a podcast.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. It's Hatch.
That's me.
I tried.
You succeeded. Can I save this? Am I allowed to save this?
Yeah, save it.
I like how you made Hatch look like an ethereal force.
Yeah. I'm going to put it in my fan art folder, which I have. I save every piece of fan art I've ever gotten.
That's the problem with like being a VTuber is like you have to have a certain level of narcissism to go like, no, I'm saving everything related to me.
I'm constantly perplexed when people draw my persona or when they draw my OCs. It is literally like the biggest ego stroke on the planet.
That is one thing I like not like but like secretly I kind of envy that VTubers do get a lot of fan art just because like y'all have personas and like character designs because I will only ever get that if I get crazy popular. Nobody like in just like a decent sized audience is going to want to draw my regular ass face.
Yeah.
You don't know. Maybe.
And that's not me telling people to do that. That's just me like commenting on reality.
Hey,
all right, Boingo, you know what me and you are gonna do, right? We gotta make that.
I mean, here's the thing. Technically, Vac, you are a VTuber. You're a giraffe.
That's right. I'm the famous VTuber Jeffrey Giraffe. Yeah, from Toys R Us.
But like,
oh my god,
talking on like fan art. Like, Vac, I don't know if I showed you this. Oh no, that's not what I want.
Oh no, where's the thing you want?
It's not here. Hold on.
What are you gonna show off? Is it the art that I made for you with my teeth?
No, that's a different one. I can show that one too. But like, no. Remember when I was like, "Yo, look at someone made a Kamen Rider version of me."
Oh yeah, that's right. You showed me that. Yeah, that's fucking dope.
I showed you that one, but they followed it up with a sequel.
Oh my god, You're using the power of pants!
I'm using the power of pants!
Let's go!
I've told you, I think I've told Hatch this at least once or twice before, but like, Hatch made the first Boingo fan art.
Huh?
I did! And I posted it like seconds before I went live because I was like speed running. I was like, oh man, I gotta do my stream today, but I gotta finish this. That was fun. It's honestly it stayed, despite it being kind of older, it stayed as like a thing that I enjoy looking at now. Like I it's not one of those pieces of art where I look at it and I go, oh, you know.
Genuinely, I was flabbergasted for like 3 hours after that. It was
Yeah, I
like,
remember
what?
you popped into my stream and you were like, "What the actual hell is wrong with you?" You were like, "What are you doing?"
This is not okay. I did not sanction this.
Yeah, but I think this is some credit for you, Boingo. It takes a lot for me to look at something and go, "Oh fuck, I want to make fan art of that." Like I'm very, in my own brain that I want to draw like the things that I think about, but like when I see like a character design that someone's made, or like if I have an idea about something, it's like, oh man, I gotta make fan art of that, right?
Well, I mean, you were
So-
also like partially the impetus for Boingo's VTuber persona, so it makes sense that you would do your own version of it.
I mean, here's the thing: whenever I have money, Hatch is going to be the person who does like the full 2D model.
Oh, sick.
That's always been like the vagary of the plan.
Figure of the plan. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it always. Boingo is
One day I will be big famous YouTube person and Twitch person, and I'll just be able to go. Here you go, Hatch, money.
money. I do like money, and I also like drawing for money.
It's almost like doing things you like is better when you get paid for them.
Right?
It's almost like that's what everybody should be doing for their career, but our economy just doesn't allow for that for some stupid reason.
Yeah. It's pretty rough, but you gotta make.
It's a catch fucky too. Hi.
You did touch on something back there that I did find interesting, or could be an interesting line of discussion. Like the whole idea of like not being able to look at your old art without getting disgusted. Like, how much do you guys think? And I'm putting this to both Hatch and Boingo. How much do you guys think you experienced that with? Not just like drawing, but like old streams or video content or any kind of art you create.
All the time. Near constant.
It is almost impossible for me to go back and rewatch or re-listen to anything I've ever made.
Wow.
It's
like you talk about going back and re-listening to modular content. I'm just like, I can't do that.
It's tough. I mean, I'm personally like I'm not a big fan of like the way my voice sounds, and especially like the way it records. I think it's like even worse. I very much struggle going back and watching old VODs, and like I also very much struggle just like I know this episode is going to be another thing where it's like I will have, if I want to listen to it and enjoy it, I will have to listen to it in like set amounts, like because I will get so irritated with the way that my voice sounds.
See, it's interesting because I don't mind your voice at all. I think you have a very like just good solid friendo voice.
Oh, yeah. I guess
and, like,
I mean, the criticism is worse because it's coming from yourself.
That's true, and your voice sounds different to you speaking than it does recorded.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
I think it's a proven scientific fact that your voice has a higher octave to you when you're speaking.
Actually, it's a lower one because your voice is reverberating in your head.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
And I also like I don't experience that whole like disgust thing. I wouldn't say at all, but not nearly as much. Like
yeah.
Like I'm not like watching my own stuff all the time, but I'll go back and look at my older content and I'm like, you know what, this is all right. This is not the worst thing I've ever made. I mean, like I'm not enthusiastic about Megaforce Sucks anymore, but like I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I don't want it to be gone forever.
Yeah.
And like up until like as soon as I started getting dios, my figure photography has just mostly been like a steady progression of just getting better and better to the point where I can look at almost anything from the point where I got dios and I'm like, yeah, this is good, and stuff before then it's not like, oh, this is bad. It's just like, oh, I didn't have the tools I needed to do this right.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way, Vac. There was a period of time when I would make a video and I would have to be in the other room when I showed it to people.
Ooh, I'm a lot like that with comics. Like if I mean, not only is it like it's incredibly difficult for me to read older updates because my art has improved vastly over the past almost decade. When I have to go back and like read something to make sure it has like continuity, it's incredibly difficult for me. But when I show my comic to other people, it's like even if it's a Discord link, right? I have to step away from the computer. It's like I can't even think about like, another person like perceiving the thing that I have done, right? Like
I think I'm the exact opposite. Like I'll be like in the room watching it with them and like going between them and the screen, like trying to gauge their reaction as they're watching it. Or like
Oh no, see here's the thing.
if I send it to somebody over like Discord, I'll be sitting there like waiting for the reply.
I have very distinct memories of showing a buddy in high school a video I made, walking into the other room, hearing the video, and wincing at how I delivered my words.
Mm.
Like it can get bad, buddy. It can get bad.
Damn. I guess it's just I have a
immunity.
higher tolerance for my own bullshit is a self-deprecating way to put it.
It fucks with you. It fucks with your head a little bit.
Yeah.
And like Hatch can attest that I put myself down pretty regularly, and I hate that I do it in front of my friends to the point where they just have to yell at me and say shut up. That I am valued and loved, but like,
well, it's weird because I can completely understand that because I think I'm in like the same boat where like I am the kind of person that can perceive the quality and goodness in anybody around me and absolutely not at all in myself. So like I as much as I give you shit for it, Boingo, I completely understand where it comes from, and I only bully you lovingly so that you may in the future have that confidence, right? Like because I think you should.
Yeah.
See, go ahead, Boingo.
No, there's also the other aspect of like, no matter how good your friends say you are, inevitably the number that just doesn't go up just makes you go like, all my friends really enjoy what I do, but this number ain't going up.
That's true. And I do have that sometimes myself, but I think a big thing about me, and I do see this in other people, like this isn't something I was necessarily born with. This is a learned personality trait over time of being a creative and watching other creatives I admire, is I think there's really two schools of thoughts. There's the school of thought you guys are under of like, well, my friends like my stuff, but nobody else does, and that's a big problem. And my attitude is very much like my friends and I, we all do stuff we like. We like each other's stuff because we're awesome, and the rest of the world just doesn't see it yet. And what the hell is wrong with the rest of the world for not seeing that yet? Get your fucking shit together, rest of the world.
Yeah. It's just waffling about now. It's just like how I can't just go someplace and just like watch my shit. It's good. It's like, nah. What? Who the fuck am I to just walk in and say like, look at my cake, eat it?
I mean, that's also like not an acceptable way to advertise stuff on the internet anymore. So like, I never do that. But the attitude behind the way I advertise my stuff is always like, these people should be watching my stuff because I assume they have decent taste. Like, I'm not going to name names, but there have been moments where I'll put out a video and in the same week I'll see somebody who's maybe been doing YouTube for a few years less than me will put out a video on another topic that I tend to cover sometimes, and it'll get way more attention than anything I've done, and I'm like, the fuck's going on here?
Oh god.
Like, I'm not saying this content is bad, but like, yo, I've been here all this time and you're not going to give me this level of attention? The hell? What's all this work for?
I mean, sometimes there's also the fact that I don't know if I've told Hatch the fact that there's a minor fictitious, not real, it's a joke, beef between me and Mother's Basement.
Oh yeah. That is definitely a part of it. And like, it's fictitious for you, but I do legitimately want to kick Mother's Basement ass for a lot of reasons.
No, like I made a video about an anime and I was like, hey, here's how this anime uses tokusatsu. And then like 3 weeks later, Mother Basement's made basically the same exact video.
Except worse. Like, not sourced or coming from a knowledgeable place at all, just going like, I know what tokusatsu is, having seen one tokusatsu show and wanting to see another tokusatsu show because it's written by Gen Urobuchi.
I see.
So like,
Come on the show, Jeff.
Come on the show, Jeff. Just ignore the baseball bats.
Yeah. It's funny because like I do definitely have a history of like shitting on other channels on the shows and then going like, "Hey, come on the show sometimes."
I do remember that you've said that like quite a few times in some of the episodes that I've listened to, and what a goofball.
I love comic pop, but man, Sal does drive me up the wall sometimes. But I would love to have him on the channel.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing of like I was talking about this with Geek with Chris a couple of weeks ago, the last time we were hanging out, and I was like, you know, I don't have anything against the guys that run Team Rider. I'm sure they're all nice folks just trying to do a good job. But I yell at them regularly because Toei doesn't speak English. They're the only people working on Kamen Rider who do. So if I yell at them loud enough, maybe the message will reach Toei.
Perhaps. It's possible.
It's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible.
But you know, if I was in the same room with the Team Rider guys, I'd be like, "Hey, what's going on? What's your favorite show? What do you want to talk about?" so Hatch, what's going on? What's your favorite show? What do you want to talk about?
What's my favorite show?
Yeah, what's your favorite? Your outright favorite television show right now on the spot?
Out of all of them.
Fuck, that's actually really hard.
You better not say Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
I don't even know what that is, so I can't say that.
Is it King of the Hill?
It's not King of the Hill, and it's surprisingly it's not Castlevania. That's the shocker to everybody. I mean, my favorite anime of all time is Mononoke, which recently found its way on US Netflix. And it's only 12 episodes, so like if you haven't seen it, it's literally the most beautiful show I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the one based off of Count of Monte Cristo?
It's not, I don't believe, but I think it is the same studio. Because it's that like painterly texture style, right?
Yeah. This looks like this looks like a more detail-oriented Kaiba.
Okay, it's the same studio. I know it. Okay.
It's so good. It's my favorite anime of all time. It's seriously, I mean, even if you don't like it for its plot, it is one of the most aesthetically beautiful TV series like you'll ever see, right?
I mean, it's not my aesthetic, but I can appreciate what's going on here.
Right. No, that's what I mean. It's like, even if you're super not into it, I think you can appreciate that it looks beautiful, right?
Yeah. Also, I'm really impressed with Google that I had to scroll down a fair bit before I saw an image of Princess Mononoke.
That is a surprise, because usually that does not happen. It's usually pretty... It's like, you want Ghibli films, right? And it's like, nothing against Ghibli films, but I want to look at my favorite anime, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at the director for that. Guess what he worked on?
What did he work on?
Transformers Combiner Wars.
Oh, no.
I know nothing.
Well, hopefully, you know, how's the voice acting in friggin' Mononoke?
Well, at least they're working in Japanese, not in English.
I was gonna say, but like, you know, at least we know he wasn't responsible for that, if that's good. I don't know. There's a lot of factors that make those Machinima Transformer shows not great.
Okay.
Probably the main one would be because they were being made by like a dying YouTube company.
God. It is so fucking wild to see what happens to fucking Rooster Teeth and fucking Channel Awesome and all them. Just
yeah.
Yep. Remember when like it was a side goal of like every YouTube channel to get signed by one of those companies?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. When I was a teenager, I was like, oh man, I want to make gaming content and I want to be signed on by Machinima more than anything in the world. And now it's like,
maybe if I make Minecraft Let's Plays hard enough, I can be like Ant Venom too. Ant Venom, come on the show. I don't even know if he's still making videos.
Got the ones, come on the show. We won't invite Buster.
That's the 1 week where Buster can't make it.
Yeah. Same here.
Where's for kick
I could go full goblin mode.
Oh my god.
And you do, and you do very often.
No,
hang out. I know.
All we gotta do is get Pan in here, and it can just go wild.
Yeah, we don't even need to be here.
I've realized.
When is the Pan and Boingo show coming to Modular Media, by the way?
I don't know. I have to talk to Pan.
Pan DM Boingo.
If I just get a random DM sometime next week and it's just like, hey, what's up, bitch?
What's up?
You.
What up?
Oh man.
Oh no, I've realized I have a vocal stim that I do. I don't think I've ever done it on podcast.
Oh,
I do a little Hatchetko, like noises that Popeye makes.
Oh yeah, you do that a lot. You do that a lot, dude.
Are you like a Popeye fan, Boingo? Is this stuff and I don't know about you?
No, I like Popeye a moderate amount. Like how someone who is vaguely aware of Popeye and isn't angry at him is. What I'm saying is Popeye has not fucked my mom.
Okay.
Oh, good to know.
Is
Hatch, on the other hand.
Not
is
yet,
this a
anyway.
thing Popeye does? What the hell?
Popeye's gonna cuck you.
I mean, I'm sure Robin Williams fucked somebody's mom while he was still alive, but like, I don't know if actual Popeye the character is in the MILFs. I'm gonna have to wiki that.
No, he's in a loving relationship with Olive Oil, and they have a kid.
Yeah.
They also have a strange little dog that is magical.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go back and read some of the original Popeye comics someday. I've only ever seen the Robin Williams movie and like a few animated things that were just floating around when I was a kid. I don't know. How do you feel about Popeye, Hatch?
I have no opinion one way or the other about Popeye.
No.
Because I'm quite, for a podcast about pop culture and talking about it, I certainly am not the most well-versed despite being a person on the internet.
You're not into like the big franchises that we always talk about, but like you're bringing your own little flavor to it. You brought up Castlevania, you brought up Mononoke.
We could bring up Pyramid Head.
I mean, I do like Pyramid Head, but we don't have to get...
I mean, we can certainly talk about Pyramid Head, but like all I know of Pyramid Head from is Atop the Fourth Wall.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's certainly one way of describing it.
I just wasn't into horror games in the early to mid 2000s.
No, that's totally fine. I mean,
I'm not that into games now.
Yeah. I was into games in the early to mid 2000s, but I wasn't into horror games very much. I've never really been a big horror person, to be honest.
That's totally fair. I've despite me liking horror content, I actually don't consume as much as I used to, and especially video games is like the reason I can watch like 100 horror movies in like a month is because I'm so like desensitized to the fact that I'm not experiencing those things. But if I'm playing a video game, it feels too immersive. Even if it's not like a first-person view video game, I get too immersed in it, and it's too much for me. Like, yeah.
I also just think it's one of those things where just the aesthetic doesn't appeal to me very much. Like, I'm not a big Halloween guy. I don't have a problem with people being big into Halloween. Like, I get that the spooky, scary bullshit is very in with this generation, but that's the oldest man sounding thing I've ever fucking said. Jesus Christ!
And you're younger than me.
Yeah, but like I like things that are bright and happy. I'm much more of a Christmas guy.
That's totally fair. Christmas is great.
And I mean, we can always meet in the middle with Nightmare Before Christmas. So.
See, I'm spooky, but in the way that Oingo Boingo is spooky.
Yeah, and I do enjoy that, but like that's fun. We're being goofy, being introspective, spooky. That's not like I'm trying to scare you with ghosts and goblins and actual fucking murderers. Scary.
No, it's using a vibraphone to sound like a skeleton.
Yeah, I can get down with that.
Get down with the sickness.
I can get down with the sickness. I can get down with the. Is this? I think that's my favorite Oingo Boingo song at the moment. Is this? Also, like Outrageous a lot.
I've been listening to a lot of like the weirdo demo shit that the one Oingo Boingo tapes YouTube channel's been putting.
Oh, I haven't heard about that. I'll have to look into that.
Okay, hold on. It's not official. It's not an official like Oingo Boingo related thing. It's a fan thing, and they just scour everywhere for unreleased Oingo Boingo material.
Wow.
Ooh, hell yeah.
That's the cool thing about Oingo Boingo is it's one of those things where like it's not super popular, but the people who love Oingo Boingo love Oingo Boingo.
For good reason. For good reason.
Yeah.
It's good band. It's good music.
It's good band.
Or there's something we could delve into. What's some of your like musical tastes, Hatch?
Oh, musical tastes? Ooh, I like a lot of stuff, and I feel like when I describe like my music tastes, a lot of people get a little bit confused because my music taste is a little bit broad. But I know this is gonna get me something from somebody. One of my favorite bands before they were really big because of TikTok. I really enjoy Mother, and I know that is such a like, you know, former gifted child like queer thing to say, right? But
I feel like I've heard that name before, but I also don't recognize it entirely, you know?
yeah, no, that's totally fine. I do think that like when I say that, it kind of gives a certain impression to a lot of people. If that makes sense.
See, here's the thing. You've repeatedly talked about this band. I have never once gone out of my way to listen to anything they've made.
Wow, what a great friend, Boingo.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like if you have heard a song from Mother, it is probably Hayloft, which is not even their best song. If you have.
Here's the thing. When you say Mother, I think of the fucking song by Train. Hey, soul sister.
But in terms of that, in terms of anything besides that, I quite enjoy. I guess what would be considered. Would it be considered grunge? I mean, I like grunge and I like alt rock. I'm really into Nine Inch Nails very frequently. That's kind of like my go-to. My music taste is very weird. I have like the one or two really obscure bands that literally nobody has heard about, and then I have like, you know, literally everybody who is considered alternative or even slightly goth is into.
I mean, Nine Inch Nails is definitely the one.
Right. I mean, that's yeah.
I mean, you look at Hatch's model, and you hear a couple bands, and you go like, "Yeah, that totally tracks."
Yeah, that totally tracks. I think currently a band that I'm super into, which is continually obscure, and part of me wants to have them remain obscure so that I can enjoy this thing by myself, and another half of me is like, everybody else needs to know about this. Is a band called Count Zero, which is one of my favorite bands as of late. They had one single on Guitar Hero that everybody played, and then nobody listens to anything else that they made. Yeah, that's most of like what is assumedly my music taste, is just that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, not.
I definitely don't have that. I have a obscure thing that I don't want to get known because everything I find is always like 6 months to a year after it's blown up. Like I'm always the holdout who's like, I'm not busy this week. I guess I'll look into this thing I've been hearing about all year. Oh, this is actually really good. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, I got this motherfucker into Oingo Boingo, so
yeah.
That's probably the most obscure thing you've gotten me into.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't want to sound like too gatekeepy because I really want other people to just enjoy things, but I did see like a surgence of people really enjoying Mother because that was like a very popular TikTok audio to use. And so I think like when I say I enjoy Mother, there are a lot of people who like kind of lump me in with that, you know, kind of culture, if that makes sense, right? So I think my hesitation comes from more of like, I feel like the culture around like that music is going to change, and I will suddenly be a part of that culture and not just like I enjoy this music very much, right?
I mean that does tend to happen with these things, with anything that's been around for long enough. But I always find it's best to just go with the flow of like, yeah, that's certainly a side of the I guess the fandom for this thing I like, but that's not the side I come from.
Also, Hatch, I just remembered a song I've been listening to on repeat, and you need to listen to it because I think you would enjoy it.
Ooh, I will do so afterwards, so that I
For our listeners, that is Mutoid Man Call of the Void.
Yeah. It's a very sludgy 3-piece, like, I wouldn't call it's like, it's the blank idea of metal without it, metally punk, but it's not thrash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you. I'll definitely take a listen. In response, I will send you Count Zero's Cure of a Kiss, which is one of my favorite songs of theirs, and you can listen to that afterwards. We're just all trading music recommendations.
Honestly,
Zach, what is your music recommendation for me?
Shit. Like, I don't know. I have really basic taste. Let me open my current like playlist of shit I regularly listen to and see if I can find stuff.
Let me put it to you this way: me and Zach took a road trip to go see Snowcone, my buddy, and I was in control of the radio, and I just played like Japanese.
No. I was in control of the radio for 30 minutes, and then I went like, wow, nothing is happening. You need to be in charge of the radio.
And so I put on a playlist of Japanese alt, like, it's not math rock, but it has mathy elements. You know, that it like kind of Japanese punk.
I get you.
And just like every once in a while, I would look over at Zach, and it is just the look on his face is like, what the fuck are we listening to? Jesus.
What are we at? Yeah.
There were some good ones in there, but there was a lot of just like, okay, all right. This is not what I would put on in a car, but all right.
A lot of just Japanese men yelling at you.
Well, that just happened. Hey, speaking of Japanese men yelling at you, I can recommend the like semi-popular J-rock band Back On. I do really like them.
Okay, yeah.
I don't ever talk about them, but I like most of, well, I don't ever talk about them in general. Buster's heard me bring them up several times because I really wanted them to do a Kamen Rider or a Sentai opening for a long time, but I think that ship has sailed. But I like most of like their big singles. So they're worth looking up.
You wanna send or put that down in the chat so that I can actually remember to do that? Because I'm one of those people where like
there's a song of theirs from 2011 that I do tend to listen to quite a lot called Sands of Time. So there is that.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
No, it's just talking about all this is just making me go, man, music podcast.
Music podcast? That's a little out of my depth, sir.
Well, I bring on guests and just go like, hey, tell me about a band.
I mean,
what are you listening to right now, buddy?
Absolutely. That sounds. I mean, music. This is kind of going back to the first question of like what has inspired me to make more, but like a lot of the stuff that I make is heavily inspired off of like what I'm listening to at that moment in time, right? So there's like a couple of albums that I could say are kind of integral to the creation of my comic at certain points. Like I could pinpoint the different eras of me making comics.
You can pinpoint when you were listening to 9 Inch Nails and doodling a panel.
Well, surprisingly, like not a lot. Like 9 Inch Nails has been more of like a recent thing that I've gotten back into. A lot of my early comic work. What album was I listening to the most? I think probably Glass Animals How to Be a Human Being, which is also a really stellar album. I think that's like one that I was listening to quite a bit when I started. So, yeah. Music is a big one. It's some good stuff.
I often feel like I'm the only person I know who doesn't have like a lot of music that really defines their life. Like I was never super into a lot of like bands and stuff growing up. It's only like in the last couple of years that I've gone like, oh yeah, I do really like this band. Let's try and listen to all their stuff for a minute.
Like it's very like I can tell you exactly the music that makes me Boingo. Like what makes Boingo Boingo. It's angry, vindictive, like Johnny Cash classic country.
That's
It's
some good stuff.
it's bouncy early 2000s, not new metal, but it's that bouncy dance metal.
Mhm.
So Rob Zombie, Static X,
Yeah.
Korn.
Corn.
I like Korn. Come on.
That's totally fine. I don't dislike corn.
I have been to Iowa.
Hey, that's Slipknot. I mean, I did listen to Slipknot too. But I mean, come on. At this point in time, if you've listened to metal and punk and alt rock, you've listened to Slipknot at least once.
I think you know this, but I don't think we've talked about it in a long time. I legitimately did not know Slipknot existed until they started using their songs to promote NXT pay-per-views.
And then, of course, the third pillar is new wave, American style new wave. Don't miss me with that Duran Duran fucking shit. No, it needs to herk, it needs to jerk, and it needs to talk about humanity as if we're a failed thing.
Oh,
I do love me some wacky but introspective 80s new wave.
I might have some recommendations for you down the line then, Boingo.
It-
If that's the vibe.
Devo, Oingo Boingo, Talking Heads, and it may have only been one album, but goddamn, the band that made it's Wall of Voodoo's the band, Mexican Radio.
Ooh, okay.
Mexican Radio is genuinely one of my favorite songs.
I did used to listen to that quite a lot.
But like, if it hurts, it jerks, or it bounces, you got me.
Okay, I will take that into consideration as I will soon fill your DMs with music completely irrelevant to the tags you just given me.
Well, I know there's one band you've been talking about recently is I Don't Know How, But They Found Me.
Oh my god, they're so good!
I remember when their first single dropped, and it has like all the robots.
Yeah. Oh my god. They're really
like,
good.
Getting better all the time, or something like that, or something like that.
Oh.
And it just has that right amount of herky jerky but smoothness.
Oh yeah, do it all the time.
Do it all the time. Yeah, and I do it all the time.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bombard you with like musical recommendations, dude. That's something else. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole other universe
It's
of
a whole
Boingo.
Like, it's just, I think that kind of like you find a musical thing to latch on to, and that's just the vibe you like. Like my sibling, my sister, is very much into acoustic-y singer-songwriter soul music. I say soul, but like it's that kind of soulish pop. Like, I'm just putting her on blast. Harry Styles, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no, I get you. Like,
I was about to say Taylor Swift.
You know, and now I'm just going over like family thing. My mother is very definitively 90s female empowerment country.
Let's go.
And like Garth Brooks and band and like musicians like that. You know,
I think as far as like my family goes, that's definitely my sister you just described with your mom's musical taste, Boingo. My mom she'll like any song as long as it has the word God in it. She's one of them Christians.
Oh.
Whereas I think the best way I could describe my musical taste is I like dad rock, I like synth, and I like music from media I watch. Like if there's a good insert song in anything, I'm like, I don't fucking care. This is going in a regular rotation.
Have you listened to Steely Dan yet?
No. People always tell me like Steely Dan is really good, and I'm like, is it though? I'm not sure.
It is the most dad of dad rock.
See, that's the thing though. I don't know if I'm that dad.
You could also try Rush, which is like the cool dad rock.
I could try Rush. I could try U2. There's a lot of areas of dad rock I haven't really tried yet.
See, U2 to me is like the dad rock who gets overly upset at his fucking Starbucks order being wrong.
Oh
My god. You know, it's funny that we're talking about the tastes of our family members. My my dad has like the most unusual taste in music for like the kind of person he is. He is religiously into Rage Against the Machine, which is so funny to me.
Is he one of those people that doesn't get the point of the band?
No. He is. I love my dad. My dad's great. Papaco is like awesome.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
He in fact he used to the Rage Against the Machine song that is in The Matrix during the end credits. He actually used to play that for me when I was like a toddler to get me out of bed, essentially, because the lyrics are like wake up, right? And he would just storm into my room and play that shit. Yeah, he is weirdly like super into like classic Bowie and like Stevie Nicks and like Fleetwood Mac, and then it's like Rage Against the Machine, and it's like, who are you, dude? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, that does sound kind of similar to how my music taste comes from.
You're just gonna be the middle-aged dad, and your kids will think they know you, and then you just go like, "Hey, listen to this shit," and it's like some weird fucking metal thing that I just sent your way, and it's like, "Listen to this."
It's like, listen to this hard shit, dude.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, dad rock can mean a lot of things these days. It probably even means something very different to people who are like 10 years younger than us.
Oh,
but
well,
like
certainly, like, you know what? Metallica's dad rock.
Oh yeah, but I'm definitely like I like hair metal. I like Creedence Clearwater Revival. I like the Beatles. I like Elvis. That's kind of like my realms of dad rock. I don't know where we go from there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we keep going. Keep moving forward.
We carry on, my wayward sons.
Oh.
I thought you said you didn't like Supernatural.
I did not know that song from Supernatural. I fucking found that song through a YouTube video back in the day. It's still the only Kansas song I've ever heard. I like it. I like it just as its own piece.
I was half expecting you to say I learned about that song because of the Young Bucks.
No, but I did legitimately lose my mind the first time they came out. I think you were on call with me when we were watching that.
Probably. The Young Buckins.
No, it's a good song. The Young Bucks are good boys. And CM Punk's a good boy too. You can be of the opinion of both of those things, actually. I didn't know if you knew this, Boingo Rider, but you can like two wrestlers who don't like each other. You don't have to pick a side.
Yeah. I just wish that they wouldn't fucking tear everything down around them, just in case.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Just in case.
Who's your favorite wrestler, Hatch?
I actually have an answer for this.
Oh, okay.
I'm quite fond of The New Day, and I'm also quite fond of Asuka.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know, we don't watch much WWE anymore, but those are definitely acts I liked back when WWE was all we had.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name right now. Brain's being dumb. Yakuza lady. AW.
Talking about Hikaru Shida?
Hikaru Shida, yeah. You probably like Hikaru Shida, Hatch.
Yeah, let me get some pictures of Hikaru Shida.
Oh no, I'm looking. I am looking.
Yeah.
Right?
I also, there's a wrestler that I only vaguely know about because Boingo has sent me their merch. They're like a Japanese non-binary. Yeah!
Kid Bandit. No, they're American.
Oh, are they? I don't know why I thought they were Japanese.
Because they're Asian.
Well, okay.
Look, if you see an Asian wrestler
in wrestling, I just assume that they're from Japan.
Like, it's not an uncommon occurrence.
They're Filipino. I'm a fool, okay? Yeah, Kid Bandit's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's all the wrestlers I was into. I think there was another one, and then I like found out some shit, and I was like,
That does happen sometimes with wrestling. And with all media, really.
Yeah, it's the thing is, like, I used to own like a shirt and everything, like I was into it, and like I legitimately I couldn't tell you, like I genuinely don't remember what their name is, so it's super funny.
Shinsuke Nakamura?
Has Shinsuke Nakamura been doing fuckboy shit?
No.
You just really scared me, dude.
No, I missed the fuckboy part.
Okay. Do you at least know if it was male or female?
Yeah. Oh, I remember who it is.
Oh.
Marty Skrull?
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
You just fucking sent us back to fucking that era of wrestling. Jesus.
It wasn't Me Too. What was the hashtag wrestlers were using?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know. I didn't even I don't even think at the time I went out of my way to like confirm that any of those things were like happening. I just was kind of like bad
We
vibes.
were doing a wrestling podcast at the time.
Oh.
So I remember talking about that, and I think we came down in a place of like, this seems like there was a massive communication between both parties that led to it becoming an accidental non-consent thing, but it's still a little gross.
Oh, definitely.
It's very gross.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And also, like, I don't think that man has gotten a lot of work since, or at least I've not seen his name in a while.
No, you know where I think he got some work?
Did he
control
get
your narrative?
He got some work there? Oh, good for him.
No, because that was the alt-right wrestling.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Is Control Your Narrative still around?
No.
Awesome. Great. Glad to hear it.
No.
Yeah, but you know what? New Day is full of good boys, and
all three of those boys. Wish them much success. Always.
I mean, Asuka is just it's Asuka. How can I?
Where's our Xavier Woods world title run? Let him dethrone Cody. Or not Cody, because Cody didn't get the belt. Roman or Seth, because Seth now has his own special world title because they realized they booked themselves into a corner with Roman.
Again.
Yeah.
So I'm only moderately into wrestling. Like, I only watch wrestlers that I'm interested in. But I will tell you some curse knowledge that I think I've only told Boingo one time, and I'm pretty sure he's forgotten.
Probably.
I did unknowingly read a Bray Wyatt fan fiction.
Hell yeah.
That was something. And then I was like, I don't know who this is. Oh, it's a wrestler. That's a little awkward.
No, that was definitely an era of wrestling when Bray Wyatt was big, when fan fiction was just a bigger part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's died down a little bit.
That's like an actual thing. I just thought I stumbled across like the one freak who was like, man, I'm really into this shit, right?
No, there was like full on like shipping of members of the Shield.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was during the era where WWE was doing a lot of reality TV, and that brought in a lot of not to say like only female fans write fanfic, but a lot of female fans who were of that kind of mind space.
But it's also like the Shield were, I would say, much more attractive to a female audience due to the way that they like presented themselves.
Because I have heard a lot of guys refer to them as like the best faction of all time.
No, here's the thing. Guys like them because they were cool and dominant and like they came in and were badasses. From what I've seen, women liked them because they cared about each other and they worried for each other, and they like one of them's hurt and they're going like, "Oh man, is our guy okay?" And like they were very like genuine with their emotions, and that's what got them. They were sweet with each other.
Oh, okay.
They were sweet boys.
I couldn't tell you who Bray Wyatt was being shipped with. That's the
Tony Shalhoub?
It could, for all I know, it could be the funniest crack pairing on the planet, but the fact that I don't remember is like, we'll never know. Like, I'll never be able to find it again. Like,
oh, I wouldn't say never.
Okay, well, I could definitely do some digging and get back to you. I'm sure if you started rattling off names, I'd eventually figure it out, but...
Probably,
Luke Harper?
It was a girl, so...
Oh.
Yeah, that's, again, see, it's like...
Alexa Bliss?
No, it was, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll get back to you. I'm sure it'll either be
we're gonna have a Modular Components 0.5 to discuss this fanfic. We're gonna have a live reading of this fanfic on the show one day.
It'll either be the funniest thing or like just like the most like yeah, no, whatever. Like as expected, right?
Yeah.
So
Did you fellas ever dive too deep into the world of fan fiction beyond just that one time?
I remember there was a brief moment in time where I was just really jonesing for more Tron. So I watched some read some Tron Legacy fan fiction. None of it was good.
Oh, I read fan fiction on the regular, and my cursed other thing is I write fan fiction on the regular.
How do you do that with all the other things you're doing?
I don't know. I don't know, Boingo. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
I've gone through so many phases with like opinions on fan fiction and stuff. I definitely had that phase where I was like, fan fiction is stupid because it's never going to be published work and it's not really part of the thing.
And then 50 Shades happened.
Yeah, and then I had that period where like all of Tumblr was saying, don't read 50 Shades or this or that. Read actual fan fiction. There's way better smut in fan fiction. And because I was a teenager on a journey of sexual discovery, I went, yeah, sure, okay. And
I love
why
how
not?
you describe it that way.
That took me to places, let me tell you. That took me to several places I'd rather not go back to. And now I'm mostly just like, fan fiction is definitely a thing that people do, but I've tried like getting myself in that headspace and it just doesn't work. Like the closest I get is my action figure photography.
No, I mean like it's not a pursuit or an interest that like everybody has, and I think that's totally valid, right?
And I think it's also partially that just like in the last few years I've come to terms with the fact that like I'm not really a writer. There was a time where I thought I wanted to be like a professional writer in some kind of medium. And like writing's never been easy for me and it's never been like something I've enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm.
I like performing, but I don't like writing something that I have to perform or that people have to read.
We just keep pitching comics to each other. That's our writing.
Yeah. We are definitely a house of ideas, Modular Media. We're a house of idea guys, and very few people who actually get shit done. The only reason shit actually gets done on Modular Media is because I just go like, no, well, I think it would be fun if we did this podcast, so I guess I'll do most of the work for it. Or Boingo does that in the case of No Prize.
Here, I have a thing with fan fiction, and my big thing is I'm too much of a nitpicky asshole when it comes to lore. And that
you would be like, that's not accurate.
That is one,
Boingo's the guy that makes the
I do that with like legitimate
accurate
movies.
Oh my god. No, I mean that's totally fair. It's just I think
Hey Boingo, what Earth is the MCU?
199999.
I think for me, fan fiction has just been so ingrained in like fandom spaces that like even before I really started doing art as like a thing, as like my thing, right? It was reading and writing fan fiction. So they don't exist anymore, thank God. But I did religiously write Naruto fan fiction when I was 13 years old.
Yeah, I long for the day you just like suck it up and read one of those on stream.
No, they. What I'm saying is
no. Here's the thing: somebody has to read it while Hatch is on call with them on stream. Hatch can't read it themselves.
No, here's the problem. Not only do I not have any of those saved, I mean, for God knows how many reasons why I wouldn't want those saved, but the site that they were hosted on no longer exists. Right?
What? You mean you weren't using fanfiction.net or Archive of Our Own?
Dude, I was using fucking Quizilla.com, bro.
What? I never heard of this.
It doesn't exist anymore, and it's I hope there's not like a web archive of it because I don't fucking want to find out.
Let's check the Wayback Machine right now.
Oh, it does. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Are we
Hatch, are you gonna find it?
I'm gonna see. I don't think it exists. I don't think there's like a
That's a little disappointing, gonna be honest.
And I'm kind of okay with that.
Obviously.
It's my dark backstory that I used to write fucking OCX canon.
Oh,
Hell
Naruto
yeah!
fan.
Let's go.
Okay,
You know.
I'm not gonna pry too much. Do you remember what your OC was named?
Oh yes, and I'm not going to tell you. 'Cause it
Okay.
was bad.
That's fine. But now
The
we
one-
know that you remember enough about
What-
it.
I remember many details.
Can you at least tell us who you shipped your OC with?
No.
Aw.
I will say though, because when you're a teenager and you don't know how like any sort of narrative kind of structuring works, you just say, I like these two things, let's put these two things together.
Yeah.
I will divulge the information that it was it was a Naruto fan fiction, but Final Fantasy VII was heavily involved.
Hell yeah, crossing
Oh
the
my
streams.
Yeah. It was bad.
That's like, do you ever have that thing like where when you were a kid young enough to be playing pretend that you would just like make up a scenario where somehow everything you like existed in the same world and you were interacting with it? I used to do that all the time. I was a Jedi, but I was also on the Justice League, and I knew Optimus Prime.
Holy shit, you know Optimus Prime, dude.
Yeah,
See,
he was
here's the thing.
my actual friend at 8 years old.
I didn't do that. My thing was I legitimately made my own superhero pantheon.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I can only remember two of them.
Where's this slideshow, Boingo?
I can only remember two of them. You want to know their names?
Yes, please.
One of them, Mammal Man.
Let's go.
It has
Okay.
the power of mammals.
Okay, awesome.
And I shit you not, Faster Man.
Oh, let's go. Faster, man. Let's go.
Did you write that after watching that one TJ Omega video?
No, legitimately, this is something I had when I was like a wee little kid. And I full on remember me yammering on to my mother while she was on the computer doing something, I don't know. And I just going like, the Faster Man. And then I ran to the other side of the house and back, and I was like, look how fast I am.
Oh my god, Boingo.
Shout out to moms for putting up with that kind of shit, honestly.
Shout out to moms.
I'm
Let's
sure
go.
I did my fair share of silly shit like that to my mom when I was a kid that I can't even remember now.
Hey, it also doesn't help that I was very neurodivergent.
I mean, I don't know if I really did that as a kid. I think maybe a little bit. I mean, now as an adult, I hesitate to talk about my work even when prompted to because I feel like it's annoying. But I mean, I do enjoy it. I'm sure my roots in crossover fan fiction has aided me very well in the creation of original content, I'm sure.
I was never good at just sharing things I made. It also doesn't help that I just didn't have a wide network of like very close friends.
Mm.
I had Cody. That's about it.
You had Cody, the man you annoyed into being your friend.
Hell yeah, that's how it works, right? You just annoy someone until
Oh
they're your
no,
friend.
it's not just annoy. He hated me in middle school.
No, I remember you told me your backstory, and I think it's quite charming, actually.
It definitely is. I do enjoy being a witness to the Boingo Snowcone friendship. It's one of my favorite things about Modular. Maybe this group that only exists because I saw Boingo make a video about a Transformers YouTuber that got retweeted by that Transformers YouTuber, and then I went, "Oh, you make good videos and you don't have a lot of subscribers yet, so you'll talk to me. Hey, let's be friends."
Hell yeah. I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, I don't actually know like the Vac Boingo origin story. Like, I
That's
legitimately
literally it.
There
I
it is,
went,
there it
oh, we have similar taste in YouTubers, and you're new enough to this that you'll still like talk to anybody who sends you messages, so I could probably become friends with you.
Oh
And I
my
need
God.
YouTuber friends at my level. Because like I know some bigger YouTubers, but it always feels a little awkward talking to them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I'm making you take time out of your busy schedule, kind of a thing.
Like, see,
Yeah.
that, like, and this legitimately very similar thing with, like, VTubing.
Mhm.
Of, like, oh, you are actually very widely successful. I don't know how to talk to you.
It's hard. It's hard. I think I'm pretty sure that every collab I've done has never been instigated by myself. It's always been somebody else approaching me. Because I'm
think
just
that
not brave enough. Yeah.
that also definitely is a thing with modular media and like with my attitude towards being a creator that's kind of shifted in the last few years of like, in order to get guests on this show, I like Hatch, you can attest to this. I have to go knock on people's doors and go, hey, you want to come shoot the shit with us on Saturday?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything on a Saturday night, right? Want to hang out?
Hang out, yeah.
And I just gotta hope they get back to me.
Yeah.
And I have sent a lot of emails that we've never gotten a reply to.
I mean, we've gotten like a good bit of the VPals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The official, unofficial, not happening, kind of really a thing VTuber thingamajig.
VTuber group. Sort of. Yeah.
But then there will just be random people where it's like, I like your work. Would you come on the show? And they're like, yeah, sure, man. And I'm like, what? Okay, that worked.
Hell yeah.
That just happened.
Shout out to Body.
Nah. And no, I don't want to toot the horns. I don't want to say like, but like we're doing okay.
Yeah,
we're growing.
Yeah,
it's a slow and steady thing here.
Yeah, and I mean I don't think that's bad. I think that's very, very exciting, and this is not me just like talking out of my ass because you invited me on here, but genuinely I do think that it has very good potential to be incredibly popular, everything that you guys do. So I'm excited to see the direction that it goes in because like I know it's going somewhere, I
mean, the fact that this show has made it to 100 episodes and we've stayed fairly consistent with it, and like we've done an in-person meetup and produced a lot of content out of that now. I think we are at the stage where like modular is a perfectly proven concept. We're just waiting for people to cotton on to that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So cotton on to it. Like, comment, subscribe, give us money so that we can live in the same place and do stuff like the summit all the time. Please.
Give us money so we can buy an abandoned school and we can just have modular and the VPals and anybody else we want to work with all in one building, and we just create a commune.
We've talked about this internally multiple times, but I think it's like no secret that we've gone from we'd like to have a content house to we'd like to have a legitimate office to we want to have a modular campus.
And of course the VPals are invited, and
there will be like a VPals building, and there will be like a comedy building, like a woodworking building. I don't know, fucking.
Oh,
there'll be a music building.
Hell yeah.
But it's just like I want to be able to like provide for my friends to just them create things and not have to worry, because then I could just I being like an imperative of like me and other people working together, market the shit out of their stuff and help them with other things of like Nor becomes a bigger thing. And, like we promote it and all that kind of stuff, and then you get merch and figures based off the characters.
That's the dream. That's
Nor
the dream.
The animated movie.
I mean, that's the dream. I want to keep my expectations kind of low for my future, but like reasonable. You know what I mean?
But like, I want to be the kind of person where I can just say like, all right, Hatch, just work on your comic, just do it. I'll just be over here coming, like, I'll be like, hey, Hatch, look at this stuffed doll of Mint. Do you approve? Oh, yeah. Is this good?
Do I approve?
You want to put Hatch in the George Lucas position?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want all my friends to be George Lucas, and I just go like, all right, cool. What things can we do to like promote and like make merch and give them the resources they need?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the real obstacles of modular media becoming like a fully fledged cool thing is literally just money and anything other than money that's keeping people locked into like whatever area they currently live in.
Oh
too.
yeah.
I would love
Absolutely.
if I like legit if I win the lottery, I'm not gonna be that guy that like buys a bunch of stupid shit or I'm gonna put it in savings in case of an emergency. No, I'm gonna start waving wads of cash in my friends' faces and going like, "You want to move here, right? That's what you want."
That's what you want. Hell yeah.
No, it's just the thing. It's just the thing. It's just how do you get there? How do you get from A to Z?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough. I mean, I don't know. You might.
It starts somewhere, and right now, right here, it starts with our call to subscribe to the brand new Modular Media Patreon we're announcing today. That is totally a real thing, and I didn't just pull that out of my ass because I thought it'd be funny.
Wait, let's go.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I've been thinking about revamping my Patreon, but it's also just like I made a promise to myself years ago that I would only just start announcing and like promoting a Patreon when I have like 1,000 subscribers, and I haven't had 1,000 subscribers in fucking years. I have been stuck at 7. Like I have been floating at 718 for the past couple weeks.
Hey, you're getting there though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Numbers are numbers, but you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Worst part is just like where can I tell people to fucking go watch me?
Where doesn't have a rule against self-promotion?
It's tough. I think that's one of the things that I dislike the most about content creation is like I don't want to be spending time figuring out how to put things out there. I just want them to be out there, which
you
is
don't
not
want to have to be your
effective,
own marketing department.
I really don't, because I don't truthfully, when prompted, when asked about like what comic I make and like what is the the kind of work that I do, I had to pre-write that down because I was like, I'm sure that this is going to be asked, and I never have any idea of like what to say about it because it's just not like a thing that I think about very often. So yeah, that is, I mean, I think universally across any sort of genre of content creation, like the hardest thing is like trying to figure out how to get people to look at it, right?
It's especially annoying because like Vat can attest to this. Of like you put energy and effort and thought and creativity into making a video, and you want to go post it somewhere, and you post it on like a fucking subreddit, and then 30 minutes later it's deleted, and they're going like no self-promotion. And then you open up the subreddit, and the first fucking thing you see is some fan art, and you just go like, how is this any different than what I fucking did?
Yeah.
What is the difference here?
We just don't want your smelly YouTube cooties.
I'm definitely very grateful that I have a good chunk of friends who will go out of their way to retweet my stuff, because I just do not have the willpower to say anything more than, hey, it updated, please go look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck Reddit, by the way. I'm glad that website is dying.
Yeah. The shame is it's such a big repository of knowledge at this point. It needs to be archived.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe we return to the good days of forums.
Do we have to?
Forums. The only problem is like trying to find interesting good forums because they just don't exist.
Not like they used to, for sure.
Not like they used to. Not like they used to. Not like they splooge.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Come?
Is that so? Oh, come?
Come?
All right, I think that's a podcast, everybody.
Oh, serious? Oh no, I don't know I don't know that that's the way I want my legacy to die. Is that? But
I mean, you could always come back.
I definitely feel more comfortable to do so now. I get severe anxiety before doing any sort of event. So now that we've like done the first one, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do another one.
Yeah, now that you know this ain't so bad, maybe we get you on for episode 200.
Yeah, now that I
maybe
know you guys...
also before that too. Like that's
that's
like 2 years from now.
It is.
It's okay. It's fine.
This channel may not even exist 2 years from now, honestly.
Oh,
who's gonna get canceled?
You know what? I am very suspicious of certain people. I'll say that.
Is it me?
No, of course not. Why would I say I'm suspicious with the person I'm suspicious of in the call?
Am I gonna get canceled?
I mean, it depends on how everybody else feels about the ending of Geats, doesn't it?
Jesus, you have to put that fucking...
Am I wrong? It's another game. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Here's the thing. The writer for this season has had 2 shows where he was okay at the ending.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely different crowds as far as 01 goes. I know some people were not happy with the way that show ended. I wasn't one of them, but hey, Boingo, you should really watch 01, you know?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't hit that running joke in a while. You're welcome, everybody. Mark it on your bingo cards.
Oh shit, we were supposed to have our bingo cards open? Ah.
No,
I haven't updated the modular bingo card in quite a while, actually. I need to do that.
Is there a legitimate, like, modular bingo card? That's so funny.
There's an older one, like from back before Buster and Snowcomb were in the group, so it would probably look very different now.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, Hatch, you are the guest, so why don't you tell the people where they can find you out there on the internet?
Oh shit. You can mostly find me over on Twitter at _Hatchetko. I also have a webcomic, which we have talked about a little bit on this podcast, called Nothing Ordinary, which is available on Webtoons and Tapas, and then eventually Hatchetko.com, when that's a thing. And sometimes I make funny noises with my mouth and draw shit on the internet, and that's at twitch.tv/Hatchetko. Yeah.
Excellent. Boingo, where do you make funny noises with your mouth?
Fucking everywhere. Jesus. Where aren't I? I'm on Twitch at Boingo_writer. I stream. I'm kind of taking a mini hiatus just so I can plan some actual things and do some stuff. So like I'll stream, but I'll like announce it on Twitter like early. So if you want, follow me on Twitter at Boingo_writer. Same place. You can use the same thing on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll be there. Those are social media things, I guess. I'm on YouTube. I post videos regularly at Boingo_writer. And what's the other thing? Oh yeah, you can join my Discord server. Link is in the description. We talk about a variety of shit.
You all right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
My man just like had a little episode right there.
Got a little possessed for a second.
Sometimes I do a thing that I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like a reverse burp.
Interesting.
All right. Well, I'm assuming you're done with your plugs. Hey, everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. They're things I'm quite proud of. You can find them on youtube.com at the Vacuuminator. I also post clips of those videos over on TikTok. That's at the _Vacuuminator. And I have a Instagram that goes by that same version of my username, where I post daily action figure photography. And I have a Twitter and a Tumblr where all that stuff tends to get aggregated together. That's at the Vacuuminator on Twitter and thevacuuminator.tumblr.com on Tumblr. But hey, that's it for the 100th episode of Modular Components. What a time, what a rhyme we've had here with Hatchetko and Boingo and me and a little bit of Buster and no Snowcone because he's fired.
He's not fired.
Yeah, he's not fired. I was joking.
I don't want to be involved in the firing. So
yeah, no,
not my fault.
That's cool. Don't worry. No, I need him too much. I just started a new show with him, so he'll be back. But hey, we'll see you back here next week for Analytical Fanboys, where we're going to be talking about Doom and probably more modular components in the future. Plenty more, actually. So, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah.